In today's episode, No More Rebirth, the shocking truth about escaping the cycle of life and death, we'll explore ways to bring more clarity, calm, and mindfulness into your day. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of the inspiring stories and wisdom we'll share next. The Buddha's wisdom invites us to pause, to question, and to wake up from the illusions we take for granted. True awakening is not about believing in something blindly, but about seeing clearly, for yourself, that freedom from suffering is possible. If today's reflection spoke to you, take a moment to breathe deeply, to feel that spark of awareness in your heart. That's where the journey begins.
Number 1. Why dispassion is hard and why motivation matters. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to get swept away by passion, by the things we crave, chase, or cling to? It feels natural, almost automatic. That's why choosing a path toward total dispassion, toward ease and freedom, is one of the hardest things we can do. It's not about being cold or detached from life, but about freeing ourselves from the cravings that quietly control us. And that takes incredible strength, clarity, and daily discipline. This is exactly why the Buddha placed right view at the very beginning of the Eightfold Path. Think of right view like a compass. Before we set out on this journey, we need to know where we're going and why. Without it, our resolve weakens, our actions lose direction, and our mindfulness drifts. With it, every step, from the words we speak, to how we earn a living, to how we meditate, starts to line up with a deeper purpose. So, ask yourself, what is motivating you today? Is it fear, desire, or something deeper, like a longing for true peace? The Buddha's path invites us to pause and reflect. If we can train our minds to see clearly, to understand how suffering begins and ends, we open the door to a freedom most people never imagine. The truth is, walking this path isn't easy, but that's why it's transformative. It's not about escaping life, it's about seeing it as it truly is and learning to live with wisdom, balance, and compassion.
Number 2. Rebirth as a motivation to practice. Have you ever stopped to think about how fragile life really is? We all know that death can come at any moment, yet most of us live as if we have unlimited time. The Buddha often reminded his students of this truth, not to scare them, but to wake them up. Because if we truly understood how uncertain life is, we'd feel an urgency to live with wisdom right now, not someday in the future. One of the Buddha's most powerful teachings is the idea of rebirth. For many, it's easy to dismiss this as just a belief or philosophy. But when you look closely, it's a deeply practical way to understand the importance of our actions. According to the Buddha, most beings are not reborn into peaceful, favorable circumstances. Instead, many end up in painful states of existence, whether that's as a suffering animal, a restless spirit, or even in realms of unimaginable torment. And even when a rare human birth or a heavenly realm is attained, those experiences are temporary. Nothing lasts forever. The Buddha used vivid imagery to explain this. He once said that the chance of being reborn as a human is like the dust that collects on a fingernail compared to the vast earth itself. Imagine that, how rare and precious this life really is. When you hear it that way, it's hard not to feel grateful for the opportunity you have right now. So here's the question. If life is so short and a good rebirth so rare, what are we doing with this moment? Are we using it to grow, to awaken, to free our minds from suffering? Or are we letting it slip away? These teachings aren't meant to create fear, but urgency. The kind that inspires us to stop waiting for the right time and start walking the path today. because the truth is, this life is our golden opportunity. And once we see that clearly, every choice we make can bring us closer to real peace and freedom.
Number 3, effort in the face of suffering. Imagine this for a moment. What if every day of your life you were stabbed with hundreds of spears? The pain would be unbearable, right? But here's what the Buddha taught. Even if we had to endure unimaginable suffering like that, day after day, for the sake of truly understanding the Four Noble Truths, it would still be worth it. Why? Because that understanding doesn't just ease suffering in this life, it opens the door to freedom from countless lifetimes of pain, fear, and struggle. That's a bold statement. But think about it. Most of us spend our lives trying to avoid discomfort, avoiding challenges, avoiding pain. Yet, this avoidance often traps us because life itself is full of suffering, sickness, aging, loss, disappointment. The Buddha's message wasn't about escaping reality, but facing it with courage. The Four Noble Truths show us not just that suffering exists, but that there's a clear path to end it. And if finding that freedom requires effort, even great sacrifice, isn't it worth everything we have? I often reflect on this teaching when life feels overwhelming. Maybe you've had moments like that too, when problems feel too heavy to carry, or when life just doesn't seem fair. The truth is, spiritual growth isn't supposed to be easy, but every bit of effort, every mindful breath, every act of letting go is an investment in true liberation. So ask yourself, if freedom from suffering were guaranteed, what would you be willing to endure to reach it? Would you face discomfort today if it meant peace beyond measure tomorrow? The Buddha's answer was clear, yes, and that's the courage this path invites us to find within ourselves.
Number 4, why the Buddha taught a multi-lifetime perspective. Have you ever wondered why the Buddha often spoke about many lifetimes instead of just focusing on this one? It's because he understood something profound. While a few rare individuals may achieve awakening quickly, for most of us, true transformation is a journey that unfolds over lifetimes. And that's not meant to discourage us. It's meant to inspire patience, persistence, and hope. Think of it this way. If you've ever tried to master a skill, a language, an instrument, a sport, you know it takes time, practice, and often failure before progress becomes visible. The spiritual path is no different. The Buddha refused to water down his teachings into something quick and easy because he knew that awakening is precious and every step toward it has value, no matter how long it takes. Every act of kindness, every moment of mindfulness, every effort to let go of greed or anger, it all carries forward, shaping the conditions for awakening, whether in this life or the next. That perspective can be deeply freeing. Instead of feeling pressured to get it all right in this lifetime, we can focus on sincere practice, knowing no effort is wasted. Imagine planting a tree. You may not sit in its shade tomorrow, but you're part of something bigger, something lasting. So ask yourself, if the journey is this meaningful, what small steps can you take today? Can you choose compassion over judgment, mindfulness over distraction, courage over fear? The Buddha's teaching invites us to see beyond one lifetime and recognize that our efforts ripple through time. Awakening isn't just a destination, it's a process, and every mindful breath is already part of it.
Number 5, the practical value of understanding rebirth. Have you ever noticed how most of us live as if we'll be here forever, putting off the things that truly matter, assuming there's always more time? The Buddha's teaching on rebirth wasn't meant to scare us, but to wake us up. Seeing the reality of death and rebirth clearly gives us a powerful motivation to practice, even in the face of life's hardest challenges.
Imagine being near the end of your life, looking back and realizing that every choice, every intention, every act of kindness or selfishness continues shaping your path forward. That's what rebirth means. Life doesn't simply end. Our actions carry momentum, leading us to future experiences, for better or worse. When you truly see this, complacency loses its grip. Laziness feels dangerous because we understand the cost of drifting through life unconsciously. The Buddha often warned of how subtle attachments, our love of comfort, our need for praise, even our smallest cravings can bind us to suffering. But this isn't meant to depress us. It's meant to give us clarity and urgency. When you know that this moment shapes the next, spiritual practice becomes deeply practical. Meditation isn't just for peace today, it's planting seeds for freedom tomorrow. Think of it like a farmer preparing for a harvest. Even if winter comes, the farmer knows the seeds they plant now will bear fruit later. In the same way, your efforts, every moment of mindfulness, every step away from anger or greed, ripples into the future, this life and beyond. So ask yourself, if this truly isn't your only chance, what kind of momentum are you creating right now? What seeds are you planting for your future self, your future lives?